And now we got a second review here. So if you watch this one, actually, if you watch them in order, right? You watch this video first, you already know. Megalopolis. Now, this is a Francis Coppola. I think it's Francis Ford Coppola. I think that's the name. And I think Ford is because she got married, I guess, or something like that. I think it's a girl. If I'm mistaken, Francis Ford Coppola is the daughter of whoever Coppola. There's a guy named Coppola, right? He has that same name. I think the movie about the monster in the water, not swim, but it was called The Shape of Water, maybe? Oh, I don't even remember. Francisco Coppola, something like that. But I'm pretty sure this movie, Francis is the daughter. I think this is the daughter of him, that she makes a wine. My old job, we used to sell her wine. I could be getting wrong with this, so if I'm wrong, please. Or maybe I'll look it up on Google and put it in the description. But I'm pretty sure this is a woman, and this is the daughter of the Francis Coppola guy, the other guy that's also Coppola. This, because I'm not thinking about it, maybe. I don't know. I'm getting something confused here. But anyway, with this movie, what was I going to say? Thinking of something in my head. To attain. It's interesting. The first thoughts that came to my mind with this movie were pretentious and artsy. And I don't mean that maybe in a bad way. It's just there's a lot of shots in this film that to me, they come across like they're meant to maybe convey something. Maybe I thought at first maybe they're maybe meant to convey something, but then as we progress along the film, we get a more experimental, odd type abstract shots that don't, at least for me, they don't seem to really connect anywhere and for the story as a whole. And leads me to believe that maybe she wanted to go some artistic expression or really push the boundaries, try out something new. And with this film, she said, well, why not? Maybe people are pitching ideas. And when these ideas are being pitched out there, she would say, we can do that. Let's try it out. Or like somebody will say, hey, why don't we try shooting like this? And we'll contort it and flip it around like that. And she would say, yeah, that works. We can do that. Kind of just freeballing it sometimes, saying, let's try that out. Let's see how that can progress the story further. I like when that girl dies at the end. I like that sex scene that her and Shia LaBeouf have. And it feels like it's sort of coming. There's some things in the film, like, I knew that was going to happen. Because, like, just the whole atmosphere, the whole tone in that scene. She's like, hey, does my ass look nice in this outfit? Whatever the fuck she's wearing. And he's like, well, I can't tell. I can't see. And I like when she turns around and looks like that, and it's like, why don't you come over here and kiss it, right? The whole tone of that felt like, yeah. She sets this scene up because she's power hungry. She wants power. And she needs, I think it was kind of two things. She knew that she needed Caesar, right? She needed Adam Driver's character. But in the same vein, I feel she also appreciated him a little more too, like as a person, and maybe did genuinely find herself. I do kind of feel attracted to him. Obviously not genuine to the full point. I think, the end we saw that she is a snake, and she is, just like these men are, power hungry for power. I guess she was like, her along with the cousin, what was his name, Claudio, they were the two power hungriest, sort of vindictive, sadistic. They just had that nasty, they have that vibe about them, that sleaziness, that they're not people of good company that you want to keep around with you. And then another thing I was going to think of, I like when the old guy, the uncle, he kills her straight. And then he would have killed him too, I'm pretty sure, but he was running. But he got 2 arrows in his buttocks, lower abdomen. So that was pretty good, actually. Because they come in the room and he's like, oh, you like my boner? Obviously, there's something up with that. Ain't no way the boner that big. But yeah, that's what it was. It was a little arrow thing. I like how he executed that. I thought he died when we had that scene and we had that circle closing on his face. I thought he died. But no, he didn't die. He actually, he kind of subdued. He goes subdued. And because he is an old man, he's quite old. And I think he can see the writing on the wall. I'm at that age where, like, I'm going to die eventually. I'm just hoping I don't die too soon. Not too ready yet, but I'm getting there. And I think Claudio, he can see that, he even tells him straight up. And when he's in that scene when he told him, like, I don't trust you. I can't trust you. Because he does this to Caesar. He does his doctored sex video. this doctor sex tape sees her having sex with the Vestal version, which I guess she lied about her age. It's kind of funny, actually. She was born in Indonesia, right? I like when they find her birth certificate and somehow they find it, right? And they find out, oh, she's actually 23 years old. She's not 16. And she's actually born in Indonesia. She's not, maybe she's born to Americans, though. That's the thing, right? Oh, I was born there. That's how suddenly born in a foreign country, but like I'm American descent. Ethnically, I'm American, right? So I guess maybe the virginity thing was a lie too. I don't know about that whole point because the video, I think, apparently was doctored, but it's how do you call, he gets him in trouble with that. And because he already had like that scandal, like his wife was murdered, that he murdered his wife, but he beat that out of the case. But still, even though you beat it out of the case, you still have it lingering over you. So when she comes up to him to tell him, I guess to comfort him about this whole ordeal, he mentions to her, like, that's another scandal, another blight on my name that's going to, make things difficult for me in my endeavors or whatever. Because he's an architect. He's not a politician per se. No, he's an architect. But I guess he sort of, in a way, wields power through his ideas and his architecture. The mayor, the mayor, he's quite literally a symbol of power, is he? Because he's an elective authoritative figure that's meant to protect the city. We're in New York City. I don't know if we ever even call it New York. I think we have the word New Rome thrown around. There's a lot of parallels that are matched up with Rome. They're intentional, right? I mean, they have to be. And I think, I want to say that in the beginning film, we see those words on that wall. Those are actual words on a wall somewhere in the United States, in New York. And I think and I think maybe she saw that words and said, those are like quite some true words, or like, I want to make a film that parallels what those words are saying right there in regards to like our country being essentially like the New Rome, basically. And we even use that term in this New Rome in the film. I think the United States is referred to as New Rome, and our country, New Rome. I'm not quite sure if we're in the future. You know what's unique with this film? We do have some moments where they look like maybe they have advanced technologies, but they're not weirded out by them, like these weird crystal things floating in the air, or like the ball that can hover in your hand and you can throw it and like it'll still hover, like not on your hand. And that makes it leads me to believe that maybe we are in like either alternate timeline or a little further in the future, perhaps. And then another thing with this film, I don't recall ever seeing phone usage, which I thought was cool. The girl does have this watch, which is like, I guess, kind of like a smart watch because she stops it. But when it comes to like people using phones, I don't recall a scene where we saw that, actually. Or we saw someone using a phone. Actually, the opposite, the classic phone on the cable type phone. I like when the dad, the Breaking Bad guy, I forgot what his name is. I just know him from that show in particular. That's where I first saw the actor, but he makes a deal because he's like mortified because they're like enemies, and so he's like pretty pissed that like, oh my god, my daughter is eloping with you, and now you have a kid. And he makes a deal with him, like, you have my confession. You can have my confession that I tried to soil your career if you call things off with my daughter. And then later in that film, because I like this scene too, where we see, she says, I'm gonna go say hi. So like we know he did take it, actually. He did take this paper, whatever it was, this truce of like, I won't be, what was I thinking in my head? Thinking of something in my head. I can't quite grasp it right now. I won't be a bothersome, right, to the daughter. What was I thinking? I was gonna think of something. Yeah, he said, oh, let me go say hi to him at least, because I guess they ended things on good terms, and like he is still the father of her daughter, of her child. So like, you want to keep some good blood there, right? Maybe the kid wants to know who their father was, especially if they're like a famous architect that's like really rich, have a lot of money, right? So kind of soft power due to that fact as well. I mean, it's a pretty important kind of thing to note there, I feel. But what was I thinking of in my head? I was thinking of something. Yeah, when the kid came up to the car to ask for the autograph, you just got the vibe that like, oh, there's something fishy with this. Something's wrong with this. This 12-year-old kid, this kid at 12 years old is really that interested in my work as an architect. I mean, I guess it's feasible. It is possible. It definitely happens. But it just felt off. And I was thinking when I saw the kid standing so still, I think that's why we got that shot. His body language, he looked kind of tense, maybe stiff. He was just so still when they had the side profile shot. I mean, the shot of the other guy, Huey, rolling up his window, that was also a dead giveaway now that I think about it. But for me, that wasn't even the main thing. It was that shot of the kid from his side profile where he's just standing so still. It gave me the vibe of like, maybe he's an assassin. And then when he could have handed him the book, like, oh, here you go. Here's the book. Nice to meet you. You too. Thank you. And oh, that was a good scene. That was a good scene. I like how they executed. I like how it played out. And he went boom. He killed him. And I guess he might have killed him. I like when Shia LaBeouf recommends Huey and he says, "You idiot! You just made him a martyr." You know, it's a slippery slope when you try to kill someone. It's kind of like the assassination attempts with Donald Trump. I think there are two of them actually. There was the one, the rally, and then there was a second one at his golf course thing where like you try to kill somebody that's making, you know, that's has, I guess, sort of a controversial. Because in this movie, Caesar, he does have a bit of a controversy surrounding him with his architect, how he destroys these public housing to build his utopia thing, and the people, even Claudio tries to use this to his advantage and tries to rally these people against him. Like, hey, look at this guy. You know, he's destroyed this shit for poor. You guys are poor. You had nothing. You destroyed your homes, and now he's building this utopia building, and it's not even completed yet. And it's like for people of his political, socioeconomic status, it's like a rich people's house or something. You know, it's not fair. What was I thinking of in my head? I was thinking of something. You can probably hear the car in the background, but I think you can probably definitely hear me now. This video is 12 minutes long so far. My phone's not overheating yet, but I do have to be mindful. What else can I say about this film? It has long speeches. There's these long speeches. They even have a way of speaking. It kind of sounds like a theater speak type deal. And I'm not mistaken, Adam Driver has done theater performances before, and so it really shows here, I feel, in this movie. And I think it is intentional. He even has like his voice sort of has this, I want to say mid-Atlantic. Like, he even has this way of speaking, and his tone, his accent sort of changes. It sounds sort of it sounds all theatery, right? It sounds like a theater performance in the way they're speaking and stuff. And they'll have moments in the film where like the scenes will sit for quite some time, and we'll have these speeches, and they're like full. They'll like play the part of the pauses, the wordplay. Personally, I don't really care for it, but I guess with this film it is appropriate and it's to be expected. What else with this film? The setting of New York, I guess it utilizes the setting to its advantage, right? It's a powerful city. It's a city that, you know, when you're going to do a parallel to Rome, in a city of great great significance, doing it in DC, I guess it's just too on the nose. But to do it in New York, which is like very much a capital within its own right in a lot of metrics and a lot of sense, it just feels more fitting, does it? He can stop time. So this is another funny thing with this film. He can stop time. And we find out that she can do it too. She also, I guess she learns the ability to stop time as well, the girl. That her name, I don't even remember what her name was actually. But it's the daughter, right? The daughter of, because I guess they're both the main characters in some sense. The main characters are Caesar and her. And them falling in love feels appropriate too. I like how it kind of gradually comes into focus. People even entertain the idea. They ask them like, hey, are you boyfriend and girlfriend? Are you dating? Like, there's a scene when they're at this banquet venue. That's actually the scene where we got like the sex scene scandal happens in that scene as well. It's like this Roman Coliseum type scene setting, and you can hear the car coming real fast. There you go. So it's leaving now. Yeah, in that scene, what was I thinking in my head? Oh my God, I don't even remember what I was thinking. Yeah, I completely lost it. My goodness, listening to the car. Um, yeah, I mean, with this film, it's like I liked it. I did enjoy watching it. It's very long. I think you definitely feel the runtime with this. And apparently, this movie is flopping at the box office. I looked on Google, and I'm getting all these articles. I don't know, maybe that's my phone listening to me. I think it is. But all these articles that are just telling me the wild robot is winning, is number one. Megalopolis is flopping. Like this is the current trend that's happening right now. And I also saw the fish jelly review, where Mick and Joseph's face, their faces have this sort of like, ugh, this movie, ugh. I think I can see what they mean by it. This movie is long. It's very long. It feels like it drags on quite some. Like I said, the speech in the film, it's like very theatery. I don't particularly care for it. There was moments where they have the long speeches. I don't really care for those. Was there any excitement in the film? I like the sex scene. I like the Shia LaBeouf and the girl's sex scene. I like how that plays out. I like the interview with the girl, the teenage girl. It was like her for like a high school journalism type thing. She's interviewing her, and she tells her like, "Hey, are you guys like dating? Is he your boyfriend?" Because it kind of feels like that vibe, and it's I like that the dad, she starts working for him, and she tells her dad this, knowing that they're enemies, and he's pissed. He's like, really, ugh, I can't fucking believe this, right? And then his worst nightmare happens, where like, oh my god, they're actually living together, like they're married, oh my god, and now they're having a kid. So now like we're family. But the film ends on a happy note, because towards the end of the film, we do get a what was I thinking in my head? We do get like a happy ending, and like they freeze time. She freezes time actually towards the end. He asks her to, and she freezes the time. And I don't know if we ever learn. See, that's the thing. I don't know if maybe this film is just too what do you call it? Not sophisticated. Sophisticated for me. That's the word. This movie is too sophisticated for me to like grasp and understand. Because I'm not quite sure, how do we learn how he changes time exactly? I didn't really get that part, but we know that he can do it. He can change time, he can slow it. Yeah, this movie is flopping. I guess I can see why. It's not for everybody. I don't think everybody would enjoy it. Not even I would say I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked watching it. But not enough. Like, I don't know if I'll watch it again, right? And I like Frances's movies. I think I saw other movies that have her name, that have her input, her touch, and I did enjoy them. This movie was made for someone's wife. I don't know if I guess it's for her wife, which I don't know if she's a lesbian, or if I'm confusing Francis with like the father, like that's him. But I'm pretty sure this is the daughter, I want to say. But then again, I don't know. So if you're watching this review and I am completely screwed up on the Coppola lore, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's my review of Megalopolis. Thank you for listening.